I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. The previous film that he shot was for Rajinikanth, and straight from Rajinikanth to Hebah Patel, that was a very drastic drop, I felt. Sorry.
But you look very different on screen.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a great thing.
The best part is I don't understand Telugu. So even if I want to talk too much, most of the times I'm keeping quiet because I don't know what is happening. So when the little chance they give me to talk, oh, done. He calls Devishi Prasad and he says, see, this is what my heroine is saying. The story and all is fine. Devishi Prasad is giving the music, that is more important. We laughed.
You worked with a lot of big names in this, so one word about each of these people.
Sukumar sir, genius. Devishi Prasad, dream. Ala Ela sir, doesn't get better than that.
Hello everyone, I'm Hemant Kumar and you're watching Talking Movies with iDream. Our guest today is Hebah Patel. She's the lead actress in Kumari 21F, which is slated for release on November 20th. So let's see what she has to say about the film and her life in general.
Hi.
Hebah, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Right, so what's going through your mind? November 20th, big day ahead for you.
I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. And I don't know which I am more, whether I'm more nervous or more excited. But I'm both for sure. So yeah, I hope it is well received. I've worked hard on it. So I hope people like what I've done.
Right. So I've heard something very interesting about your audition process. Now, apparently you auditioned for the film, but then you're not called initially. But then once Ala Ela released, you called back.
No, actually I auditioned for Kumari when I was shooting for Ala Ela.
Okay.
That time they looked, they didn't like, then they never called me back. Then after Ala Ela released, I was promoting. Sukumar sir saw me in one of the interviews and then they called me back again. And that's when they took the interview and they finally selected.
So what was the audition process like? What were you
They gave me a scene. They asked me to do the scene in my way, in whichever language I was comfortable in. I think they just wanted to see whether I could be the character. They were not concerned about the language so much, as much as they were whether the body language, the character that fits in. So they did that, and actually that was a fun scene. So I did it pretty well because it was
what was it about? Like
you'll see it in the movie. If I tell everything,
it's
it will scene from the movie.
Okay.
So it was a fun scene. So I enjoyed doing that, and then they liked it, and then that's how I got the film.
Right. I heard that there were a lot of workshops that you had to go through before you started shooting actually.
Because see, otherwise what happens is because I don't know the language, then I waste a lot of time on set trying to learn the language and then getting it, and and because there are big technicians involved, you can't waste too much time. So what happens is they trained me in the dialogues and in the expressions, and because Pratap sir has this thing that he will not just give you the dialogues, he will choreograph the entire scene. He will tell you what you're supposed to do with your hands, what you're supposed to do with your face. So everything he taught. So it was very, I had to just go and do, I had to just keep in mind the camera angles. So it's sounding very easy right now, but it wasn't so easy.
Right. So I saw your first film, Ala Ela, very interesting plot, and I really liked the film also. Did that film do you any good?
It got me Kumari, so I'm going to assume it did.
But that you got the film before the film release, right?
See, it was my first film. I'm very proud of it. I have no regrets.
Yeah.
And that movie also did well. So ultimately, I think it always counts whether the movie does well or no. Whether you are accepted or no is secondary. I think the primary thing is whether the movie does well or no. Right. So I'm very happy that the movie did well. People liked it. That's
about it. Like no other big takeaways from the film.
I had a great, I met Rahul, I met Venla Kishore, I had great fun working with them. They were such fabulous people to work with. So with every movie you take something. So it was a good experience. It was my first film. It was a learning experience. I needed to improve a lot. Right. And I don't know if you can tell, but I have struggled and improved, and I hope people see that improvement.
Right. So this film, Kumari 21F, has a lot of big names. Devishi Prasad, and you're working very closely with Ratnavelu Garu because he's always on the set.
He's
right? So was it intimidating at least
initially? It was very, because the previous film that he shot was for Rajinikanth, and straight from Rajinikanth to Hebah Patel, that was a very drastic drop, I felt. Sorry.
Did you tell Ratnavelu Garu about that? What did
I told her, sir, after Rajinikanth, you're working with Hebah Patel. How are you feeling about yourself? But I have to give him full marks that he made me feel like the most important person in the world. He made me feel like the most beautiful person in the world. And every time I would go and see initially I was very like, I want to see the monitor, how my take is, how I look in. After that I stopped bothering because I knew he was doing it. So I was like, yeah, I don't have to worry so much.
Right. I don't know if you have been told this, but you look very unconventional for a lead actress. You don't really fit into the stereotypes of whatever, the hot girl, the Bombay model archetype that we call it. And pardon me for this, but I just happened to overhear your conversation where you told your friend that people couldn't recognize you even though you were
That was my
standing
director.
People couldn't recognize you when you were standing next to your poster. That actually is a big compliment, I suppose, because you look so different on screen. Right?
I don't know, let's just see the bright side of everything.
Does it happen a lot? Like you don't get recognized?
See, so many posters are not there of me in the first place. It's only now that there are posters. In Ala Ela, they didn't even use my posters. So yeah, I don't know if I look better. Like if my screen presence is good, why not? I want to be an actress. Screen presence counts more.
But you look very different on screen.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing? First tell me that. Are you trying to say that my screen presence is different and she's completely different?
Of course, man. That's the whole point, right? So that's a big compliment on how the film has been shot or how you have been shown on screen, right?
I'm going to take it as a very nice backhanded compliment.
I didn't mean it that way,
But yeah, see, ultimately I want to be an actress. I am doing what I want to do, and people care more about how you look on camera than in person.
Yeah.
I anyways live in Bombay, so I don't care.
Have you always been like that, very chilled out, laid back?
Yeah, but now I'm trying to not be so chilled out and laid back, but it's going to take a while.
Okay, so what's the big difference now that you're facing?
As in what context?
No, you're saying that you're trying to be not chilled out now. So what has changed?
Not in a way that I want to suddenly become very serious and very proper.
Oh, okay.
But I am very talkative and I have a lot of hand gestures. I need to control that, so I'm working on that.
Is it like because you're an actress now, or people judge you because you're so expressive all the time?
I think a bit of both, because earlier I was just around my friends, so they never minded, or they just made fun and ignored it. But now when you're under public scrutiny, everything you do is watched very closely, so I have to be a little more composed, I feel.
That must be getting really tough for you, right? At times, at least.
Nothing is easy in this world. What can I say? I don't know whether I'm so funny or you're laughing at me.
Right. You just said that you tend to talk a lot when you're nervous or anxious. So, is it really tough for you to keep yourself composed, at least during those times?
No, the best part is I don't understand Telugu. So even if I want to talk too much, most of the time I'm keeping quiet because I don't know what is happening. So when that little chance they give me to talk, oh, done.
Right. Coming back to the film, what's your role? I see an element of mystery in the whole role.
That is the best part. She is the girl next door. The best part is she's different, yet she's very relatable. People are going to assume what kind of a girl is she, but at the same time people are going to, oh, I understand where she's coming from. So that balance makes it very nice. That is what makes the character stand out, that it being so different is still so relatable by today's girls.
When you say relatable, what exactly are you referring to?
We all have a certain picture of the ideal girl, but we also want, we want her to be conservative, yet we want her to be fun. We want her to be outgoing, yet we want her to be demure. So in this whole balance, I think we girls tend to forget what we really are. So Kumari, I think the only thing that she re-emphasizes is that you should be yourself. Whoever likes you will be there, whoever doesn't like you will leave, and if they don't like you for who you are, they don't deserve to be in your life in the first place.
That's the bottom line of the film.
That is the bottom line of my character. That's not the bottom line of the film. That is the bottom line of Kumari.
But you're in 80% of the film, right? Almost. The film is expressed through your point of view.
Yeah, see, both the characters are equally important. Because it's a love story, there are obviously going to be two elements. Right. So, but I would say that it's very equally dominant.
It must have been quite interesting to play that role, right?
I don't know how many times I must have said, I'm very lucky, I'm very lucky, I'm very lucky. And I actually am, because to get such a substantial role at such an early age, and such an early stage in your career,
Right.
that is, I think you're genuinely blessed at such times.
I heard you making a statement in the first look poster launch where you said that you'll be very happy if you retire after this film.
No, I didn't say that. I still have to work with people. I said that what happens is when you have names like Sukumar Sir, Ratnavelu and Devashri Prasad associated, like technically it doesn't get better than this.
Okay.
At least for me, from where I am coming from, it doesn't get better than this. So what happens is when you worked with them, you set a standard, no, that this is what
Right.
this person, they work like. So now you want to always take it a notch higher. But when it comes to cinematography, I don't know who hired to look for. And Devashri Prasad, I want him in my every film. So
What is this obsession with Devashri Prasad?
I don't know.
When did it begin in the first place?
when I started shooting for Ala Ela,
Okay.
that time this Allu Arjun movie, Idhar Ramayalto, was releasing. And I loved all the songs of that music, and I was like, okay, why haven't I heard of Devashri Prasad before? And I heard the whole song, then I googled, then I listened to all his tracks, and that's when I realized, oh shit, he's a brilliant music director. And that's when I want him. And in Ala Ela, I think I once told someone that I want Devashri Prasad to give music at some point in my career.
Okay.
And the next film I did, Devashri Prasad was the music. So it was sort of like a dream come true.
Destiny, man. I'm sure it's destiny.
Yeah, maybe I thought about him way too much. That is why this happened.
Have you told him that?
I tell him all the time.
What's his reaction?
No, I told Pratap sir that you know what, story and all is fine. But Devashri Prasad is giving the music. I'm very excited. He picks up the phone and he calls Devashri Prasad and he says, see, this is what my heroine is saying. The story and all is fine. Devashri Prasad is giving the music, that is more important. And he laughed. And he said, thank you very much. I said, no, thank you very much.
So, do you have a favorite song in this film?
Megalu Lekunna and Baby, You're Gonna Miss Me. These two are my favorite songs because they're completely different.
Right. I listened to Megalu, the whole album last night. Megalu was my favorite song also. Thought there was a very beautiful melody which he has not really composed for quite some time. You know?
Yeah, that's why I'm very happy. He composed it he saved it for my movie. I'm going to say that.
So working with Raj Tarun, you both look great together.
Thank
what was
you.
the vibe like on the set?
That is what's surprising because when we first met, we barely spoke. As we started filming, that's when I got to know, and he's a fun guy, and he's my age, and he's also chilled out and very takes how it comes, and he's been very helpful. And despite me not knowing the language, he's helped me out a lot in a lot of aspects. He made this experience very nice.
Okay. So what was your struggling point? Were you struggling with the lines or was it something else on the set?
See, lines were there, but they were pretty secondary. Because I was given the lines way in advance,
Okay.
they didn't play such. But, the lines, the body language, and when there are scenes where the scene is completely revolving around me. So, because even though this movie shows me as a glamorous girl and she's very modern and outgoing, there's a lot of performance involved. So to strike the balance between maintaining the glamour and performing, that was the tough part.
Right. It's not cute, right? Like the role that you're playing, it's not cute.
See, cute, hot, all these are very subjective. Some people find cute hot, some people find hot cute.
Right.
So now it is up to some people.
No, but how did you interpret that role?
I thought that she was. See, there are parts where she's really cute.
Okay.
There are parts where she's hot, because it's needed to be like this because the movie surrounds her or revolves around her. So there were times when that was needed, but it's a bit of both. I feel that's what I told you, that even though she's different, she's relatable because
Right.
this happens.
Right. Now Sukumar Garu has written the story and screenplay, but Pratap has directed the film. Surya Pratap, right? Both very different filmmakers, although they come from the same school.
See,
So-
Pratap sir has assisted Sukumar sir.
Right.
So he carries the feel. The best part is Sukumar sir, whatever instructions were given to Pratap sir, he carried it very well.
Okay.
Although Sukumar sir has written the story, the screenplay, everything about
But
the
it's
movie
still a-
speaks Sukumar.
Right.
But Pratap, I would give full credit to Pratap sir because the way I have been portrayed, the way I have acted, the whole performance is because of Pratap sir. He has trained me how to be Kumari in the film.
Okay. So can you elaborate a bit on that? When you said trained you?
Because they needed, she was just not a character. They needed a person, they needed an identity. So training me with the body language, with the lines, with how I'm supposed to be, and those tiny little nuances that set her apart. All these things were taught to me only by Pratap sir.
Okay, it was all on the set or during those
During the workshops, on the set. And because Pratap sir is very funny, he will tell you the meanest things, the nicest things, and you will not even realize what is happening.
Any examples, like what is it that you're talking about?
Because Ratnavelu sir, I'm a little intimidated by him. I'm always at my best behavior around him. And on the other hand, Pratap sir is very funny. So what happens is, it's very difficult to balance yourself. On one side, Pratap sir makes sure you're not well behaved, and on the other hand, there's Ratnavelu sir, you're supposed to be very well behaved around him. So this common ground was, I think, that needed more acting than acting on camera. Because there's a serious scene going and I'm laughing, and Ratnavelu sir is like, what is this? And then Pratap sir will be like, yeah, what is this? And then I'm like, So, and because I come across as a person who can't stop laughing when she starts, that is very difficult.
Right. So what's your favorite part of the film? Like, is there any particular scene that you really love shooting for?
That is the best part. When there are movies where you see this scene really stands out.
Yeah.
There are a lot of scenes in this movie that stand out for me, and every time they narrated this scene, I did this scene. There are not just one, there are a few scenes that really make me feel like I'm so proud I did that, but I cannot talk about it.
So did you surprise yourself throughout the process?
I have been constantly surprised because I did not expect, when they gave me a character, my character was developed even better once we started filming.
Okay, so in what way?
Now that you watch the film, you'll know what way. Everything, if I tell you, what will people see in the movie?
No, but we won't know, right? We were only watching the end product there. We won't know what has improved compared to what you're saying right now. Point, no?
See, let's just keep it that in the end, the final result is what counts. The struggle does not count.
Great, man, great. This is your third film of your career.
Second Telugu film.
Second Telugu
Third
film.
film overall.
You did one in Kannada.
Tamil.
Kannada, that Adhyaksha.
Sorry.
It's a Kannada film, right?
Sorry, I forgot.
Come on. Right. So, how's it going so far? Did you imagine that you would actually push?
Touchwood, it's been pretty consistent so far. Thiruvannamanamnika happened. Then my Ala Ela director saw me. Then while filming for Ala Ela, they called me for Adhyaksha. I did Adhyaksha. And then during the promotions of Ala Ela, they saw me for Kumari and they called me for Kumari. So, touchwood, it's been good so far.
So, it's not major gaps, right? Did you have to wait for quite some time before you got the next big project or something? So
far, no. I hope it continues.
I want to ask you about your life. What is it that you wanted to do when you were a kid? Did you have any dreams that you wanted to fulfill?
As a kid, I was not sure whether I wanted to be an actress or whether I wanted to be a journalist, because I used to see Barkha Dutt on We the People and I was like, I want to be her. Yeah. But then I also saw myself on camera. I was like, no, I look nice. I want to be an actress.
When did that happen, that camera bit?
I think in college, I did this show for MTV. Okay. That's when I first walked, and that was my first experience with camera, and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, we can give it a thought, and that's when I spoke to my mom and aunt about it. But they had this very strict clause that you have to finish studying only then, because you're not from a film background, you cannot afford to take this risk. So I finished my graduation, so my aunt had to, because I did what she asked me, so she had to do what I wanted to. That's how I went about it, and surprisingly, it's been relatively easier. So they've been supportive. They have been. I think one of the reasons why I'm here today and constantly talking to you is because of my parents' support.
Right. Gujarati connection, is it?
No, Patel Muslim. I'm not Gujarati.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that there were Patels in Muslims.
Patels are everywhere. Wherever they get placed, they fit themselves there. And I'm a Patel. So
all your life you've been in Bombay?
Born and brought up in Bombay.
Okay. What did you graduate in?
Bachelor's of Mass Media in Advertising.
Oh, you didn't take up journalism?
No. In BMM, there are two fields, like advertising and journalism. Mm-hmm. I took up BMM with the intention of taking up journalism, but advertising is so fancy and everything is so pretty, and I'm very shallow, so I went for advertising.
So, any final words on the film?
Kumari 21.
Apart from its releasing on November 20th.
Okay, it's releasing this Friday. Watch it at a theatre near you. And if you're not too lazy and if there's no theatre near you, go to a far off theatre and watch. I don't care, but watch it.
Right. So before I let you go, we have this section called One Shot. So it's like a rapid fire round.
Okay.
So whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
We'll start. Who was the first celebrity crush?
Salman Khan.
Still is.
He will always be.
The first film that you ever saw?
Which one was the first film I ever saw? I think Hum Aapke Kaun.
Okay. Top three things to do on your bucket list.
Act with Mahesh Babu. Act with Salman Khan. Go see the world.
Okay, so very fond of traveling, is it?
No, because I've not seen anything. That is why I want to see it. I've not seen anything.
Right. If not an actor,
Journalist.
that like no change in that. You still want to be a journalist.
Or maybe a housewife. I don't know. Very drastic career changes. Depends. If journalism also doesn't take, then housewife. Depends. Actually, there's no need so much planning involved. Like I want to be in front of the camera. If not as an actress, at least I'll interview someone. That way I'll be on camera.
Okay, you worked with a lot of big names in this. So one word about each of these people. Devishri Prasad, Ratnavelu.
Sukumar sir, I'll start with him.
Yeah.
Sukumar sir, genius. Devishri Prasad, dream. Ratnavelu sir, doesn't get better than them.
Okay, Pratap sir.
Pratap sir, no words for him.
He's gonna be so pissed off.
No words for him. I don't know what to say about him. One word is not enough for him.
Raj Tarun.
Raj Taran, I don't know what to say. Raj Taran, fabulous Costa, fabulous.
Fabulous. Right.
Costa cancelled, fabulous.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was great pleasure talking to you and
Same
all the
here.
best for your career ahead.
Thank you.